Okay, we're about ready to get started. I'm going to flip it. Ruth's about to start speaking.
I'm pretty loud anyway. Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming to my birthday party. I'm kidding. Well, it is my birthday party, but it's also Ruth's campaign lunch event, and I'm very happy to have all of you here.
Yay!
You may know me. My name is Joe Ayala. I'm the president of the Simi Valley Dem Club. I'm the vice president of NABIT Local 53. I'm a elected member of the Ventura County Central Committee, and I wear a lot of other hats as well as that, but most of them don't pay the NABIT Club. But people do things. I think that they get involved in office because they want to help and they want to make their community better, stronger, and that's why I got involved. I got involved with my union because I felt our union needed to be stronger. I got involved in local politics and state politics because I felt that our district and our city needed to be stronger. And I've always been a supporter of Ruth because not just is she a good friend of mine, not only is she a good friend of mine, but I see her every time at City Council, every time she really walks the walk. She's not a performative activist. She really, really means what she says. And I've known her for as many years as I've known her and been as close with her as we've been because I really do believe in her, and I think that she's a person that really can lead, and that has actually led not just the city, but she can actually lead this district to bigger and better things, and we need to look at that.
Yeah!
So, enough about me, just kidding. I want to introduce you, and I'm sure many of you know her, but a great friend of mine, Ruth Luevanos.
Yeah, Ruth! Woo!
Thank you so much for coming out today. I'm really excited. My name is Ruth Luevanos. I'm running for Congress in California's 25th Congressional District. So I have my family behind me because I don't do this alone. I just want to let you know. None of this I do alone. Running for City Council, being a teacher, running for Congress. I don't do this without my mother-in-law Terry, without my husband Leo, without my daughter Jocelyn, and my son Joey. Stay home with the dog. So this is a community. This is what this campaign is about. This is how I ran for City Council. This is how I'm running for Congress. And this is how we're going to win this district. We're going to take it back from Mike Garcia because we need to. We need to. For our families, for our community, we need to take this district back. And we need someone who has courage. And I know that I have the courage to run for Congress. I know because I've had the courage to be a city council member, the first Democrat in Simi Valley for the past 3 years. And I know that those of you who are here from Simi Valley know that the courage that I've had to have through recalls, through recall attempts, let me say that, through death threats, through name calling, through censures, through denial of committees. And they were all things that didn't hurt me as an individual, but they hurt the community. And I don't want that to happen anymore. I don't want there to be divisiveness. We have to think about our community, what's best for our community, how we're going to move forward. We have a lot of big issues that we need to tackle, and we need to start talking about them now and solving them now and having the courage to solve them now. Because for so many of our families, we're struggling. And some of us are not making it. We're working 2 jobs, 3 jobs. People are calling them side hustles. They're not side hustles. It's a second job because you can't afford to just have 1 job. That's not okay. In one of the richest countries in the world, it's not okay for you to have 2 or 3 jobs, or maybe even more, and then selling food, on Instagram, or, doing all these other things because you just can't make ends meet, because you just can't make it to that next paycheck, because you're having to choose between paying the bills and buying food and paying the rent, because you just can't make it. That's what the reality is for many of our families today. Whether they're worried about healthcare expenses, whether they're worried about the high cost of food, the rent, not being able to afford to live where they are, having to commute 2 hours every day. We have residents here who commute all the way to Palmdale and vice versa. We have residents who live in Palmdale who commute all the way here for jobs because we don't have housing that matches the jobs that we have. And we need to fix that issue, and I've been fighting for that issue at City Council. But we need to make sure that at the congressional level, that the federal level, that we provide the funding to make that happen. And I know as a local city councilwoman and having been in the chair on the dais, what it takes to make sure that we have accountability, because I've been asking for it for the past 3 years. And those of you who know me know that I've been asking for accountability from every elected official to make sure that money is spent where it's supposed to be spent to lift the communities. not as political favors, but in order to make sure that families get the support and the help that they need today. Because there's too many of us that are fighting and struggling and not making ends meet. So I'm going to fight for public education because I'm a teacher. Investing in public education is how we demonstrate our faith in the future of our children, of these kids that are running around right here. They deserve every investment of every dime and dollar that they deserve. And we have cut funding for education. In California, we spend 4 times as much on prisoners as we do on our students. And that's criminal. That's wrong. What we're sending the message is that we believe in incarceration, not in graduation. And I'm a teacher, and I've been teaching for over 20 years. I got a friend, Sherry, here who's been teaching with me, fighting the good fight in the classroom, and I know there's other educators here, Tom. And I know that we teach because we believe in our students, and we need to fully fund education again, from daycare to preschool and all the way through college. We need to continue to have the hope for our students. So I'll be fighting for education. And those of you that are my personal friends on Facebook know, I know you've seen the pictures of me walking in the rain with UTLA to reduce class size, to protect our immigrant students, to make sure that we have rights and benefits. I've been doing that for 20 years too, as a union member, just like Joe, my union brother right there. And we got lots of union brothers and sisters in the city. And everyone should have the right to join a union because we know that unions make our community stronger. They make sure that we have benefits. They make sure our rights are protected, especially during an era like the pandemic that we're going through still right now, the 4th wave of. We need to make sure that our essential workers are protected. We make sure they all have health benefits because that lifts communities. And I just spoke to someone, I said, I had to look up whether or not I was going to get health benefits before I even decided to run for Congress. Who does that? Who worries about whether or not they're going to get health benefits? That's where we're at in our society. That's where we're at in our community. We have to make sure that we have that. So I am fighting for Medicare for all. Everyone should have access to health care. It is a right. Everyone should have access to health care. Everyone deserves that. And we know, even though it's going to cost a lot, we're actually going to save. It's going to cost 72 trillion. But guess what? We're going to save 74 trillion. We're actually going to save $2 trillion by providing health care for everyone in this country. And I'm all about saving money. Let me tell you that. Okay, so that's another thing that I'm fighting for. And then everyone knows, and this is really the crux of why I'm running for Congress, is because I was asked. And the reason I was asked is because anyone who knows anything about me knows that I have been a fighter for immigrant families forever. In the classroom, in my community, as a city council member, that's what I fought for. And yes, there are sacrifices to be made. And these people behind me, they've had to make those sacrifices with me and for me. And I'm going to continue that fight because I don't want any immigrant families to be separated anymore. I don't want anyone to worry about whether or not they're going to have deportations when they drop their kid off at school. I don't want refugee families torn apart at the border who are simply seeking a way to exist. We cannot do that to each other anymore. We cannot do that in this country where we gave the promise of freedom and hope and opportunity and education to millions and millions and millions of immigrants before us. We cannot close that door behind us. There are millions of immigrant families that are living in this country. It's estimated between 12 and 20 million. And they're just waiting to not live in fear anymore. So I'm going to continue fighting for immigration, and I know that no one else will fight for that. So I am here to fight for immigrants as a congresswoman before Congress to let them know you are not shutting that door and that opportunity for our dreamers, for our DACA, for our business members, for the millions of people that have contributed and continue to contribute to these communities and to this country.
Immigrants are America, sister.
Immigrants are America, absolutely. And there is a little meaning behind the symbol, a lot of meaning behind the symbol that you see on my placard there. One of them is that, you know, we see eagles here in Simi Valley. It's the greatest place to, you know, go bird watching, right? We see hawks and eagles and, you know, red-tailed hawks and all these beautiful birds. But it also is reminiscent of, you know, the United Farm Workers, right? It's reminiscent of the freedom and all the things that we hope for. And also soaring to new hopes and to new beginnings. And that's what we need in this country. We need to be able to soar on the hope of a better future, and that takes courage. And I'm here running for Congress with the courage that it takes to make sure that we stand up for the community that we need. And I want to thank my husband, Leo, and my daughter, Jocelyn, Joey, who's not here, and my mother-in-law, Terry, for having the courage to stand with me. And I love them all dearly, and I'm here to fight for you guys. Thank you very much.